quick, making sure you guys can hear me. Do a quick sound check. Quick sound check. Check. I was talking about I was talking about the kid that got the GT500, like this kid that goes on the YouTube channel Speed Phenom. He's out there like, got delivery of the first GT500, and it kind of pissed a lot of people off. Not because he was the first, it's because thank you. You guys can hear me. So at the end of the day, it pissed some people off because some 13-year-old kid got a GT500 before people that put in deposits and were promised that, hey man, this bitch is going to show up October. I think some of the delivery dates were like October or something. And then it got moved up. And then some fucking 14-year-old kid that is probably rich got the GT500, got it out to the track, ran 10.6. And it blew my mind how this kid talks. Blew my freaking mind that this kid was, look, I know a lot of you guys have not gone 10s, but it is not that fast, especially on a car that automatically shifts itself. It's just like, it puts you back in the seat, but to react like this, oh geez, I'm sorry, I got my wires all fucked up here. To react, check this out. This is how he reacted to the car. Hopefully you guys can hear the sound, but it blew my mind. Check it out.
Up here, it feels like butterflies or something. It's like never been in a car that accelerates that fast before. Up here, it feels like butterflies or something. I've never been in a car that accelerates that fast before.
I'm like, what the fuck is that? So he's never been in a car that accelerates that fast before? Like, it blows my mind. People Speed Phenom is baller. He's not baller. Look at him real quick. Look, if you tell me this dude is balling and he's getting mad puss, I'm telling you, if that is baller, I don't want to be baller. Check it out. Look at the hat. Dude, he is literally YOLO douchebag. Flat hat. I mean, he is literally YOLO douchebag, like to a T. And it blows my mind. But, good for him. Look, he got the GT500, and what pissed off a lot of people was, where the Jesus, he's still talking. God damn it. Shut up, kiddo. God damn it. I'm not going to give you any more views. So people were like, well, where the fuck's my GT500? Where the fuck is my GT500? Someone's like calling me a boomer. Actually, it's Gen Xer. Boomers are in their 50s. So that kid, no way that kid got laid. Like, remember seeing that meme saying that guys that go to the gym all the time get curbed by a guy with a boat, and it shows a big fat white dude in a boat with socks on and shitty shorts. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're on the boat to get seen on the boat, but they're smashing gyms at the dude. So that dude is getting no puss. Everyone's like, first time at the track, let him be excited. LOL. Dude, my first time at the track, I wasn't that excited. Granted, I didn't have a $90,000 car, but I just look, act like you've been there before. If you've ever dunked a basketball, and bam, yeah, got it. Just don't be like, woo! Yeah. But I get it. It's for the views. It's for the likes. It's like that guy, It's Just a Six. When he accelerates, he always goes, oh! Like who, have you ever made that sound accelerating in your Mustang? And if you did, unsubscribe from my shit, because I'm fucking wrong with you. Something legitimately is wrong with you if you're reacting like that to speed. Now, the GT500, let's talk about the car. Did you hear the shifts? It shifts lazy. I'm telling you, that shit shifts lazy. Why? Because Ford knows that transmission at 4,200 pounds, if you shift it fast, boom. I guarantee that transmission, if a tuner turns off torque reduction, bye-bye transmission. I was actually amazed that Ford can make it slip out of the hole like that. Guys, that's a clutch. That's like a dual clutch setup. So to make it slip out of the hole like that and be able to cut like a low 1.6, high 1.5 on those Michelins, I think that thing has, that is pretty badass. That's pretty badass. But the shifts were lazy as fuck. I know they're lazy on purpose. Why? Why are they lazy on purpose? It sounds like a 6R80 going down the track. So you're telling me this GT500, which is, look, it is a quick car, but let's talk some sense into people here. A 6R80 equipped Mustang with a blower, whether it be a Whipple, Edelbrock, or TVS, 11, 12 pounds of boost and halfway decent fuel, runs that number. And that air runs that number in that air, and the car sounds exactly like it has a 6R80. Goes whoa, but then they're touting you the millisecond. It shifts in milliseconds. Exactly, Ashton 5.0. 6R80 shifts are as fast as it sounds. Exactly. So the shifting is lazy. Now, where is it not lazy? When you're in sport mode, track mode, going, not drag race mode, track mode, going around a track, and that's where the spark cut and everything makes it sound super quick. Why? Because it's on asphalt. I cannot wait till a tuner turns it off, makes it shift fast, and grenades that transmission. It's not if it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So a lot of people that are drag racers are probably not going to buy this vehicle specifically for drag racing, but trust me, if you're already starting out at 1060 in really good air, I can't imagine people not jumping on that thing and saying, look, this is going to be a badass platform all around. Think of it as a triathlete. Don't think of it as a drag racer, because that transmission is not, in my opinion, set up for drag racing. The fucking thing weighs 4,200 pounds, man. So that means, so does that mean 4,200 pounds static, like sitting there, like with a full tank of gas? Because that's fucking heavy. So if my fat ass gets in there at 220, that is 4,420 pounds. Dude, Hushmoney weighs 3,100 pounds static. That's why it runs 870 with only 830 rural horsepower. Plain and simple. August Corum paid a brother, and I'm going to get right to his question. Say, yeah, Alex, I just passed 1,000 miles on my 19 GTM TD2. Safe to tune now, ride out the warranty a little longer. Also, thoughts on the Steeda ProFlow closed lid. Want to do that 93 Lund tune. The Steeda lid in the last couple of ones I've tuned, they've actually been pretty good. I think they revised a couple of their things. So I think it's been pretty decent from what I can tell. At the end of the day, I don't think that it matters when you tune it. I tuned my car like immediately, put a supercharger on it within 7,000 miles. So I did it pretty quickly. Look, when you're playing that game, warranty goes out the window. And when you're in a person in my position, I tune it right away. I'm not going to fuck around. If you're afraid of just a tune on your car with no mods except the cold air, dude, you're fine. Do it up. I haven't heard any ticking issues. I haven't heard anything going on with my 19 as of yet. So hopefully it stays that way, but I'm being real good with it, trust me. But yeah, a lot of people are trying to, what's going on tonight? Danny Gutierrez. Hey, what's up, Danny? I think he's helping me tune a car. Why the fuck does it weigh so much? Alex Garcia. Dude, it's just one of those, it's a rolling heat exchanger. It's a 10 to 1 compression or 10 to 5 compression, and it's got a TVS on it, so it's got a cooler for the trans, a cooler, probably a couple of intercoolers placed strategically around some vents. It's got massive brakes. It has to stop that big fat ass. A GT, this red car right here, with me in it, and some weight reduction, was still 3,900 pounds. That means it was 3,700 pounds static. This thing is 40-some hundred pounds static. That is insanity to me, and I would never even begin with that car for a drag racer, because the amount of weight reduction that has to happen is phenomenal. It's insane. Blue Goose is 3,800 pounds race weight, and it runs 767. Imagine that car at 3,400 pounds. Woo, be a deadly motherfucker. Nickel White asks me, was the ultimate headers in the 2019 Mustang 2-inch? No, inch and 7/8. Inch and 7/8 is the go-to size, guys. You don't need 2-inch headers for nothing unless you're making 1,300, and it will not hurt you to have inch and 7/8 headers on a naturally aspirated vehicle. Danny says, one of my favorite things about the GT500 is the big ass Cobra emblems. Well, they look big. I don't like badged up cars, Danny. I'm not a big fan of badging on cars. Red cars pretty basic. White cars basic. Fairmont is basic. I'm not a big fan of like big stupid things everywhere, but I get it. Some people like seeing badging all over their shit, so it's whatever. Mark Disbro Cobra 600 said the youngsters has a GT350 Trax and 14 Super Snake 1,000 horsepower version. Right, and I guarantee he goes, whoa! Look, the kid obviously comes from money, So people like that will never appreciate like something that's, you know, simpler. You know, if he is amazed by a 1060 car at 4,200 pounds, I'd love to put him in Hush Money. I'd go, here you go. Here's this rat. Here's this fucking rat. Go ahead. Just smash the gas. Even he'll make it run 950 or 930. And then I'd like to see him react. He's going to be scared to death. If he thinks a 10.6 car and he's genuinely reacting like that, 1,000 horsepower Super Snake doesn't mean shit. Trust me. I bet you that 1,000 horsepower Super Snake goes 12.2 at 160. It's like a Supra with him driving it. You have a poster of your car you have a poster of your car on your wall. Cool, bro. It's not I guess it is a poster, but I thought Steve Gellis took a good picture. That was last year at Mod Nationals, and I do have a picture of the Fairmont this year at Mod Nationals, which I am going to blow up. Let me get it real quick. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to be a total kid, and I'm going to make this one bigger because I really think they did a good job at Mod Nationals with the Fairmont, especially with this picture. I absolutely love this picture. Now, the story behind this picture was funny. I said, I don't care about the time. I just want my front shocks 100% loose so I can have my wheelie shot. And the weird thing about this picture is it actually makes you kind of like squint at that light. It makes you go, oh, why is that light affecting me weird? I thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, that's going to be the plan for Hush Money. But let's talk about Hush Money real quick. So Hush Money, I ended up going pulling down a little bit. I wanted to see if I can tax the fuel system a little bit. And luckily with the booster pump, the JMS booster pump has enough fuel to be able to pulley down to 2.625 pulley, and it made 850 rear wheel horsepower, and it's up 70 foot-pounds of torque. Now, I don't think the car is going to go any quicker in Florida with that much more power, because at Mod Nationals, it was 45 degrees. It was cold as shit. So there was a ton of air. The track was sticking like a mother. I would be surprised if my car goes any quicker with more power in Florida than it did at Mod Nationals. But I wanted to see if the fuel system was adequate for a little more boost, and it was. So I just did 3 pulls on the dyno just to verify that the belt is slipping. The belt is slipping a little bit, so I'm going to opt for a Grip Tech pulley when they actually start making them again, because apparently if you call Grip Tech right now, like everything's out of stock, which kind of blows my mind. Eric Jefferson says, so I just ordered the 2020 GT350. Should I stay stock or risk the motor issues others have had with tune and boost? Show me who has had issues with boost with this car. Show me, Eric. I don't know of that many people having issues with a boosted GT350 as long as boost was moderate. If they're boosting it to 1,000 horse, anything's going to blow up at 1,000 horse in a production engine. But who has had issues with a GT350 boosted, like on the 85? I don't know of many. Izzy Terminator says, what are the plans for the Lund Racing GT500? Goals? 9s, obviously. 9s with tuning and good fuel and some exhaust. But I think stock, we're going to try to... I don't think Lund Racing is going to chase world records, and that's another thing. Everyone's with their fucking world record. Is Guinness there verifying this shit? Is Guinness... Well, let me verify. I hate the term world record, because when it gets beat, then it's just a record, not a world record. It's so stupid. Alex, did you see the injector dynamic single brushless pump controller supposed to support 1150 LPH? Fat House has one. Curious if you have any info on it. No info, don't care. I'm not in that market. Triple hat is more than enough. Lund Racing has a triple pump setup and an inline pump that has supported a car that goes 767. And unless I need it, I don't care about it unless I need it. Okay, so that is cool looking and awesome technology. I don't care about that pump at all. It's technology is great, but if triple pump 4 Innovations fuel system are out there with booster pumps or with inline pumps doing their thing, making cars go way into the 7s, I don't think there's a market for that pump for a variety of people. Now, if you're out there really sending it, like sending the shit out of it, okay, have at it. I'd rather, look, if I need that much of a pump in my car, I'm going to do a mechanical. I'm going to put a belt on my shit and go, mechanical, bye, see you later. No offense, but I like the technology. I think it's very cool, but I'd go mechanical before I go that pump. Hear about the 4.9 kidney bell blower made 1600 on a dyno. Okay. It's a 4.9. So it's a motor on top of a motor. It should make that kind of horsepower. 5 Slow says 2013 full bolt down. Want to go boost and make around 750. Not with a Gen 1 unless it's built. Sorry, buddy. You need to build the bottom end. Before I even go any further, you need to build the bottom end. Consider a Gen 2 bottom end or rods and pistons in that guy, an illuminator short block, 11-to-1 compression. Then you can party. New super guys, every day is a world record to them. That's the other thing that fascinates me when I sit back and look at a new platform that's released. People go world record, and then stock turbo world record, stock tires world record, stock exhaust world record. Guys, let's just call it the fastest. Stop saying world record. The fastest one on the planet. Stop saying world record. It's just fucking tacky as shit. Sergio says, what do you think about the Texas Speed headers paired up with a Lund tune? Look, headers, right? This is what you got to think about, Sergio. How long are you going to keep that car? How long are you going to keep that car? If you're okay buying a header that's discounted and you're okay with, not so high quality because you get what you pay for, period, have at it. It's going to make power. If you're going to keep the car a long time, you probably want to consider a higher end header. Newsflash, idiots. McLaren and Ferrari use FPCs on their twin turbo applications from the factory. Sick. Jared Ray says, hey, Alex, ended up getting the VMP Gen 3 in my 14. I know it's more blower than I need, but I'm happy. Trying to work out some surging issues, now to build the motor and get some Illuminator Gen 2 block. Is it Lund tuned? Jared. Why is Daryl Weingard so mad at you guys? Is it because his built motor Turbo 400 car is still in the mid 9s? Look, when you're the little guy, literally and figuratively, you're going to be mad at the guy who's successful. And by all measurements, Lund is the highest volume, has the quickest cars and blower, turbo in the Ford platform. Working on the trucks right now. We're working on 18 trucks. We're working on 15 to 17 trucks. So, of course, you're going to say, well, they suck. They copy paste. They're going to say anything to make themselves look better. Meanwhile, they're using software that literally draws the tune that is in the vehicle already. All right. Because I rarely hear anyone making a tune from scratch anymore. And then they manipulate the timing and fuel and math. And then they call themselves a tuner. Facts. Motherfucking facts machine. Necro Unlimi says, hey, Alex, thoughts on possibly getting a Vortec V3 for the 17 GT250? Not looking to make big power. Well, you're going to make big power. You're going to make big power. Even at 8 PSI, and he's Necro. I think that's his name. It's going to make 700. It's going to make 720, on pump gas with like shit boost. So trust me, it's going to make power whether you like it or not, because it's a 12-to-1 motor and any kind of boost is going to make big power. John Doe says GTRs have a world record for everything. Exactly. Tony Bolton says 2M headers fucking every fanboy up. 2M headers fucking every fanboy up. Don't get it. I have a world record. My dick is the only thing not getting hard from looking at Alex's dome. Sick. Look, this is a pretty nice head. I'd love to see you shave your head and see how that shit looks. Bumpy ass, looking ass motherfucker. Look like a brain imprint on your shit. What was the price on the Ultimate headers? Can't remember they don't have a price. So they have had five sets of headers out there in the wild. And mine was a set that they wanted to test on a 19 car, 18 and up car. They've had them on other S550s, but I think mine is one of the first Gen 3s. Fit like a dream, like anything else. So that gave them the confidence to say, let's put it out there. Now, let's talk about the horsepower gains. The fact that it made 50 rear wheel horsepower more than when it had cats and manifolds made people think, for whatever reason, 50 horsepower gain with headers. No. I suspect that the exhaust was bottled up and backed up from the factory with boost. The cats and the manifold were just bottling it up. I think a better number is 20 NA if you remove the cats, and about 35 or so boosted, 50 for whatever reason, just, it just shot my expectations way out of the water. I was like, holy shit, it's up 50. And I tested it as best as I could then from the last time with the same tires, same wheels, same inlet open, same exact variable, same fuel from the same gas station. And I got the best apples to apples comparison I could. Okay, Canadian money. Thoughts on water meth kit for NA. So I've started to I'm not changing my mind, but this is the problem with meth on Ford applications. How are we going to monitor inlet air temperatures on a naturally aspirated car if your inlet air temperature sensor is at the cold air and you're spraying it past it? Well, you could relocate the inlet air temperature sensor into the manifold, okay? But at what point do we shove enough meth in there to be an octane adder and a cooler and not have to lean out the actual tune? I am not a fan of leaning the tune out for anything. I'd rather have the meth be a supplemental thing, but the problem is it can run rich based on the amount of meth you're throwing in there. So it's a double-edged sword. You're gonna have a nice chemical aftercooler and octane adder, but then am I gonna lean out the tune based on the meth going in there? And how are you gonna monitor IAT to know if the meth is actually doing anything? 303 Street Machine says, no question, just wanted to say you speak knowledge and facts. Rare nowadays. Will you tune my Lightning? Just kidding, bicho. Look, if your Lightning has a Coyote in it, I'll tune that bitch. What headers do you recommend on a 19? Look, every header out there is gonna make power. That's what I'm going to tell people. Every header out there is going to make power. Texas Speed, Cooks, American Racing. I used Ultimate Header because I like their construction quality. Look at the header. Look at the video. The pipe cuts, the flow-formed piping, the way it's flowing, the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it fit. I'm going to keep my 19 as long as possible. So I wanted a header in there that was, minty, almost overbuilt. And Ultimate Header is a freaking nice header. Guess what? That's the same exact header company that is in my Fairmont. Fairmont has Ultimate Headers, inch and 7/8 header in there also. Exactly, Nastang 87. Alex uses Ultimate Headers on Hushmoney. Alex uses Ultimate Headers on the 19. Spray into the ported headers. Very good, very good. You're better off with nitro. Yeah, M1, but Jesus Christ, you need a lot of fuel pump. Oh my God, that's when you'll need maybe an Injector Dynamics brushless pump when you're using like M1 with ID 2000s or FIC 2000s or any fucking massive injector. Hey Alex, please help me. Where can I get a tune for my 2-valve forged bottom end, on-3 turbo kit, Comcam Stage 2 turbo cams, return style fuel system, dual Walbro 450 pumps, and Holley HP EFI? Bro, you got to look for some guy that's willing to, you got to put that out there on Facebook or something. Tuners Inc., Tony Gagnon might be able to help you. Ryan Gilmore of Gilmore Performance in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a look up. Hell, even maybe VMP, Joe will give it a crack. Who knows? But I don't want to deal with that. Because why? I'm going to be your fucking best friend by the time it's all said and done, and I'll be 8 hours into tuning that guy for $650. Nah. I would have to charge you $2,000+ to make it worth it, and then you're going to complain that it's too much money, and I'm probably going to have to chase mechanical issues. Look, that is something that someone that tunes that often, like a Holley specific tuner that is very familiar with the product, let them have at it. Or maybe someone that is super familiar with standalones. I use the OEM stuff, the OEM factory computer. That's where it's at, and that's where the bulk of the money is at, really, when it comes to tuning. Erich Jefferson says, so if I boost and tune, shouldn't it be an issue once I go with, okay, so if I boost and tune, shouldn't be an issue. Which one should I go with? Whipple, Procharger, or Turbo? All three are going to make power. All three are going to make power. All three are going to make different kind of power. Whipple is going to, not hit that hard down low, but make good power up top. Same as Procharger, not that much down low, but a ton up top. Every centrifugal, according to what I've experienced with the 2019, makes a ton of jam way up top. So, and turbos make a shitload of torque and still make power up top, depending on the turbo kit. If there's no back pressure issues, should be pretty legit, like an Aldo kit or something like that, or Hellion. I think, honestly, I would go Supercharger, and I would go positive displacement always is my first choice. So Whipple, in my opinion. If you want to put me in a corner, Whipple would be the guy to go with, in my opinion. GT500 went 10.7. Woo, yeah, we know. You missed the first 10 minutes of the show. Alex, I'm going to get a Whipple soon, and I was wondering what exactly should I get? Stage 1, Stage 2, dual fan, oversized heat exchanger, which rib, etc. YouTube corrupt, anti-free speech liberal company asked that question. My God, you got to change your fucking name, dude. Like just change it. Fuck it. If you're going to buy it once. If you can swing it, right? You're going to buy the Stage 2 with the fans and 8 rib. Because why buy it twice, right? Why buy it twice? Now, if you're like, I'm going to stay on pump gas, I'm never going to put E85 in it, which is bullshit, and I'm never going to race it, bullshit, okay, go 6 rib in Stage 1 and be cheap and, stock throttle body. But if you got the money, buy it once and don't fuck around. Barra power people, Coyote got nothing on it. Okay, sure. A stock Barra, okay, the last generation Barra can take about the same exact power a Coyote can, about 850 or so before you have to do some internal work into it. Why do I know that, Nate Fitzpatrick? Because I'm very close with Matt Coates of MFP Australia, and he told me everything. He goes, on a stock Barra, you can, if you stud it, you can make about 850, no problem. Then you need rods and pistons and a whole bunch of work to make it hold 1,000 plus. So just like a Coyote, rods and pistons, studs, and all the boost on the planet, Coyote will take 1,000 plus. So it's kind of a wash, honestly. Tip, rumor is that Lund won't tune 0304 Cobras anymore. It's on a case-to-case basis. We don't, everyone and their mom has had their hand in that vagina. The Cobra vagina, the Cobra puss is so stretched out that it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. So if Senior gets froggy one day and says, fuck it, give me that fucking piece of shit Terminator, let me tune on it, then he'll be the guy fucking with it. I won't be. Dakota won't be. Junior probably won't be. I did a bunch of them at VMP, and there is a reason people stop tuning those things. It takes twice as long. You can do it. It can be tuned. It's a money per time thing, right? It's a money per time thing. Plenty of guys can tune it. Plenty of guys have value files that work. Plenty of guys have vetted files that work. But Lund Racing stays on top of the new shit all the time. Coyote, 3.5 EcoBoost, 2.7 EcoBoost, GT500. So to stop that and get on a 0304 Cobra and babysit that guy for 5 hours, probably not ideal, and there's no money in it. Okay, so what? Someone said what? Lund Racing. Lund Racing here saying what? What's up, Lund Racing? Now you're going to get everybody on your shit asking you, why don't you tune Cobras? You don't want it to go wee? Shut the fuck up. Ethan Kurtz says, do you see Ford ever using a Sentry from the factory? If not, why? Back to front, feeding geese. So, I like that. I don't think so. I just don't think so. I don't think the unit is robust enough to warranty. Let's just say that. People are going to pulley down right away, and it's basically something hanging out in front of the engine. It puts stress on the accessory drives, and Ford's like, nah, it's not robust. A PD blower is on top of the motor, is using the accessory drives in the rear, I believe, especially factory. All Ford factory blowers were rear sheath, meaning the rear rib of the balancer was driving everything, and then everything else like the alternator and water pump are being run by the front. So I just don't think Ford is going to party with a centrifugal, but I might be wrong. Maybe some technology comes out that is super badass, but based on my experience with the 19, as long as you don't keep chasing numbers and keep boosting to try to chase your fucking tail on numbers, it's pretty robust, and I haven't had any issues yet. Built for Speed says, Alex, I have a Gen 2 F-150 motor. If I swap the cams from a Mustang, do I have to buy the PBH engine harness and ECU since I don't, God damn it, since I don't have to change a firing order to say the Mustang? Now, okay, that has been Built for Speed. That has been fixed. PBH now can sell you a reworked harness that is Gen 2 that allows you to keep the stock Gen 2 F-150 cams in it. Call Power by the Hour for details. I hear them talk about it all the time. Call them for details. They will tell you exactly what needs to happen. You do not have to change your cams anymore. Hey, Alex, I have a... Okay, he asked the question twice. Any thoughts on the new VMP? The Odin blower. I told you guys last week, I don't like the name. I think the name is silly. You're going to start calling things Marvel characters. I think that's silly, but it is a ported Magnuson 2650 TVS. It's going to make power. Plain and simple. It's going to make power. It literally, the Edelbrock, right? What's the Edelbrock? Well, let's think about this. It's literally my Edelbrock. It is my blower with a big throttle body. I have a Whipple 132 in the front of my blower, except theirs is a highly ported version of the blower that Magnuson, I guess, is trying to, protect the port. But how do you protect porting? Like how do you copyright porting, or not copyright? How do you patent porting? You can't patent. It's like patenting. Well, you can patent. You can. Yeah, that is interesting. Can you patent porting? I don't think so. It's not the same thing. If someone goes in there with their Dremel tool and ports it, what are you going to sue them? Cease and desist? But it's going to make power. That's all I can say. Okay. Built for Speed asked that question 15 times. Holy shit, Built for Speed. Now you're annoying me. Will catted headers make power? They'll make power. But if you're going to make big power, got to get the kitty cats out of there because they'll melt. Trust me. Mikey Preston says, Odin VMP blower. God damn, that name is so stupid. Change it. VMP. I'm talking directly to you, VMP. Change the name of that blower. It's dumb. Finally, after 3 years of the 18 plus being in production, 800 to the wheels on headers, 800 plus on wheels. Fuck, I can't. This thing moves so fast. 800 to the wheels on headers and average boost. Thoughts? Average boost. It's got octane booster, guaranteed. Nothing makes 800 horsepower on pump gas unless it's got an additive. If I was to put race gas or boostane in the white car, I might be able to squeeze high 700s out of it, but I'm not going to try it because I like to keep my car a long time. Joseph Bismarck says, any good performance shops you know of in the Midwest? I'm in the Chicago area looking for a good place to take my 2017. Where's Finish Line Performance? Let me look it up because I'm such a bro. Finish Line Performance. Finish Line. Milford, Ohio? Is it Milford, Ohio? Yeah, I think it's Milford, Ohio. Let me see. I think it's Brian at Finish Line. Yeah, I think it's Milford, Ohio. So I know you're in Chicago. So where the fuck is Chicago? It's kind of a ride. But I think Finish Line Performance is the guy that Beefcake uses all the time. That guy is legit. So legit. So easy to talk to. Such a laid back, cool dude. Love that guy. Every time he's on, Alex, I got a car on the dyno. Okay, because we're going to be done in 2 revisions because you're such a badass. I love it. He's great. Screaming 03 says, 03 Cobra blower, drive it out front. That's probably another reason they snap crankshaft snouts off. I don't know much about Cobra blowers and crank issues, but if it is an issue, let me know. I don't want to talk out of my ass because I really don't know shit about Cobra and I don't care. L&M intake only cams on boosted cars. Thoughts? They work. They make good power. As long as the tuner knows what they're doing, they should pick up a decent amount of power. Us Cali Forkers shit out of luck, huh? I'm going to be installing long tubes and cams on my Gen 2 Coyote. Be careful. The emissions police might get you. D-Mark Performance, I hear, is good. I'm not a big fan of D-Mark Performance cold air intakes because of the squishy elbow that they have. Not good. Redfish Ray says, hey, Alex, 16 GT manual. Just received my Paxton 3.6 pulley FIC thousands, long tube headers. How much power am I expecting for a 93 for now? What's your opinion on running a filter straight on the supercharger? You can run a filter straight on the supercharger. It's going to get dirty. It's going to get dirty quick. But it's going to make more power than using that long, stupid piece. There's a bunch of turns. There's a 90 degree. I don't mind it. I just don't prefer it. It's just going to get dirty fast. And I just don't like anything being that tight to the blower with something closing, meaning I imagine collapsing the filter and sucking it in. That would be awful. But that's what in my head I think is going to happen all the time. So I just keep the inlet on, and if I go racing, just take it right off and put a bell mouth thing on it from Vortec and party. Got any updates for the Coyote to 3-valve harness for Gen 2 Coyotes? Gen 2 Coyotes, you're going to have to call power by the hour on that one. YouTube corrupt, anti-free speech liberal company. Change your fucking name. If I live in an emissions testing state and I want to go catless, would it be practical to get a catted pipe and just swap it once a year to testing? That's what I did in Massachusetts. When I was in Massachusetts, got a tune on it, cat's off, Came time for emission testing. Cat's on. Revert to stock. Passed every time. Took them off. Yes, it's a process. Yes, it sucks. It's what you got to do. God of air. Get out of here. Isn't Odin god of something else? What is Odin god of? He's the god of war, isn't he? Odin, god of war. God of air. It's literally the worst name. Okay. Is Lund Racing here talking? Yes. DMR Performance intakes crack. He's right. So the DMR Performance, I believe, is a 3D printed intake. If it's made out of ABS plastic and it's high heat, resistant, I'm just not a fan. I'd rather that flow form or that nylon filled glass that PMAS uses. I'm not a big fan of 3D printing stuff that's going to suck shit into my engine. F-150 S-150 says you cannot put a 10R80 into a Gen 2 Coyote. There's no controller for that for the trans. Correct. That's the other thing. Guys, stop saying you want a 10R80 unless you have a Gen 3 motor and a Gen 3 control pack. Stop it. Stop it. There is no way of controlling how are you going to control the 10R80? Tell me, how are you going to control the 10R80 with a Gen 1 control pack or a Gen 1 computer or a Gen 2 computer? And then the opposite. How are you going to control a Gen 3 motor in a Gen 1 computer? How are you going to control a Gen 2 motor with a 10R80 with a Gen 3 controller? Everything has to match. Gen 3 motor, Gen 3 trans, Gen 3 controller, whether it's auto or manual. Plain and simple, especially with 10R80. I hear people all the time, well, I don't want a 6R80. I want to hold out for a 10R80. Oh, great, sir. What truck do you have? I have an F100. Okay, what motor do you have? A Gen 1 F-150 Coyote motor. How are you going to control it? Well, I don't know. That's your job. Did you buy it already? Yep. Why the hell did you buy it? I don't know, because I'm a stupid fuck. Okay, I know you're a stupid fuck, sir. Why'd you buy it? So that's usually how the conversations go, believe it or not. Red Fox says, the Mach-E will gap the new GT500. The electric car will do for gas what the gas car did for the horse. I don't think it's going to go that far. I think the electric car is going to be a nice option. But I still think gas cars will be king for a very long time until they create some kind of super efficient way of charging electric vehicles quickly. And then I'll start going, okay, but I just don't think we're there yet with technology to be able to offer quick charging on electric vehicles super conveniently like gas stations. Look, you have been at about 40 miles to empty and have had your butthole pucker because there is no gas station close to you. Like if you're driving down from Orlando and you're in that big area where there's a whole bunch of nothing between Palm City and Port St. Lucie. Ain't shit there, right? Maybe there's shit now. I haven't been up that way in a while. But for a while, there wasn't shit. So you're like, I got 40 miles to empty. I'm fucked. And then you're going to stop. And the gas station you do stop at, you're going to get ass raped when you go in there and pay for gas because guy hasn't seen a human being in years and he wants to fuck your ass. Your ass looks fuckable. Oh, man. Alex, you missed my question. Wait. You missed my question. Please respond. Brian Morales says, Alex, you missed my question and thought Fairmont was going to be going to Manuel. Seeing the video where you started, it was going to be a stick shift. Yeah, Brian, now I don't know your last question, and to scroll back is going to be a fucking nightmare. But, Brian, I wanted the Fairmont to be manual before I got my 2019 GT. And then I said, I got a manual, and now it makes 700 horsepower. So all my manual needs are fulfilled. Whipple or YSI? Whipple. Hey, Alex, how much power can a stock third-gen Coyote hold? Hell, I think Jesus Fajardo's car that Manuel built and didn't flip. That's an inside joke. I guess some people are fucking ragging on his car, and he's calling him out, which is funny. I'm like, good. Manuel's about that life. Look, if you're going to call out Manuel on some dumb shit, he's going to call you out on some dumb shit, and he's about that life. So be careful what you ask for when it comes to Manuel. Steve Brazell says, God of War, more like God of Gay. Hey, Alex, how much power can a stock third gen hold? I think 850, I treat it just like a Gen 2. I think it'll make 800, 850, no problem. It can make up to 1,000 in certain applications and certain conditions, but I wouldn't rely on it making it that much. The Chet says no on the FICs. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I got to see that question because I am a FIC fan. Alex, do you guys tune the FIC 2150H injectors? They're like the same price as the 1650Hs. I don't have any data on the 2150s, Mike Vasquez, but we do tune the 1000Hs and the 1650s. Why the hell do you need 2150s? God damn. I just like double checking everything Brandon does because you have to. F-150, S550 follows me. Okay. At OEM spec. Okay, cool. Benito Miao Soloni. Is there a good flex fuel kit to communicate with the factory Ford PCM? Local Tuner says there isn't anything reliable around right now. He's right. If you're going to put in a flex fuel sensor, the car has to have that logic in there. And we use the stock widebands and the flex fuel logic that's similar to F-150s. And it seems to work. So why would you want to get an external flex fuel sensor? Maybe you mean boost? That's the only reason I would look into that, I guess. Jose Gomez, you said 2020 Shelby 10.6s off the showroom floor? Scroll back to the beginning of the show. That's the first thing I talked about. Manual valve body, Alex. Exactly. 7.3 with a 10R80. Exactly. That's what everyone's out there buying 10R80s without any solution. And then they're trying to mix match motors and 10R80s. I want the 10R80. Look, the 6R80 is still daddy. That's still King Daddy. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's got all the parts out there available. Billet one way, billet dick, billet planetary, billet balls. That's the King Daddy right now. Get that. If you want to shift 500 times from light to light, get the 10R80. But it's got to have a Gen 3 motor. It's got to have a Gen 3 control pack, whether it's manual or auto. Period. How are you going to control a 6R80 with a goddamn Gen 3 control pack? Exactly. Fuck, Speed Phenom. He's so fucking annoying. Look, that's the norm. People like that are going to make it in this world. And I've come to terms with it. I've come to terms that if you offer information, if you're knowledgeable, you're not going to do shit. But if you go, and you talk like a fucking mushmouth retard, that's the most escalation I've ever built. I'm like, what in the, who talks like that? Who talks like that? You know what? Every YouTuber. And you know who I blame? You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers watch that shit. You motherfuckers make them popular. You motherfuckers support them. So you're the fucking problem, motherfucker. Okay, so Alex Chop City General direction on a Gen 3. Alex Chop City General direction on Gen 3 parking. I don't even know what the fuck he just said. Meaning where to park the cams for Chop? Buy a tune. Love you. You got to buy that tune, bro. Look at an on-3 top mount twin kit. Gen 2 Coyote guy says, any advice you can shine down? Will have everything necessary. OPGs, fuel injector, and has a bend cal stage 1. Buy it. Makes good power. The quickest stick shift. Not the quickest stick shift, but a very quick GT with an MT82. Ben asked, no, what's his name? I think his name is Ben also. It has an on-3 top mount, and it's like a 930 car or 920 car. It's very quick. VMP Gen 3R versus Gen 5 Whipple 3.0 for a fully built GT500. Look in the party. I don't know. GT500? I don't think they make a Whipple 3.0 for a GT500, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Honestly. The Gen 3R made good power on seniors, but I'm sorry, Gen 5 Whipple. There you go. Gen 5 Whipple seem to be performing really well. I know that Chuck at C&D Autotech put one on the GT500. I think it's still the quickest and fastest stock bottom end GT500 world record. And it has a Gen 5 Whipple. Okay, good. I'm just want to making sure I get all the questions here. Looking on 3 top mount, I usually miss my question. Perfect. Then it says Mustang Whisperer Diego Arroyo. It says, what's up, man? Would you consider doing paid calls? What do you want to talk about? Mm-hmm. Hey, Alex, what are you wearing? Well, I'm wearing Under Armour boxer briefs. Why? Oh, I don't know. I was just wondering if you would fart in them and send them my way. Sure. What do you want me to eat before I fart in them? I don't know, a couple of Nutty Buddies, maybe 100 grand bar, and some Reese's peanut butter cups, and down it with a gallon of whole milk, and then fart in them and send them to me. Yeah, I do paid calls. No, fuck out of here. Paid calls so we can what, hear my voice. The fuck out of here. No, paid calls. Sounds like a sex line. Von Hillington with the oh, I love your comment, Von Hillington. Glass solid state battery technology, lots of potential. Oh, interesting. I'll have to look into that, Eric Batchelor. Glass solid state battery technology. Interesting. What do you charge for a 93 tune with a JLT cold air and Boss intake? Support at lundracing.com. Dating stories. Creepiest ASMR ever. Exactly. 1-900 call Alex for sex. Gay. No, I'd pay to ask tech questions and shit. No, you want to pay to hear my voice. You want to pay to have tech questions answered. Here it is. Here it is right now. If you want to pay, you don't have to pay. I might just answer your question, but you don't have to pay. But to talk to me, come on, man. That's Hey, Alex, what's up, man? Okay, this is the problem with those calls. I'm going to tell you what happens with those calls because when I worked at VMP, I got these calls. Hey, man, what's up? What's up, man? How can I help you? Well, I got this Mustang, and I bought a PMAS cold air in it. But before I tell you anything about that, let me tell you everything that has happened in my life since I was 2 years old. I first grew up with an abusive father who was an alcoholic, and he married a waitress from Arby's or fucking Applebee's. And, he neglected to, really... nurture me when it comes to baseball and stuff. I was really bad at sports, so I gravitated towards cars. So I bought my first Fox body, and this Fox body was one of one, 86 GT with the gray interior and the red piping, broken ashtray door, and it was the non-GT version, so it didn't have the cutouts. That's how the calls go. That's how the calls go. You can't pay me enough to listen to your bullshit. I'm sorry. I love you. Brian Morales says, Biggie or Big Pun, Mexican or Boricua, tamales. Big Pun. Look, guys. Big Pun in his day was legit. But Biggie Smalls has some badass shit also. But Big Pun was so fucking legit as a lyricist. I'm going to try to look up some of his shit. And now you guys, I want to listen to Big Pun, listen to rap. You want to listen to rap? Fuck you. It's my channel. You're listening to my shit. Funny how the videos that I play just play. Oh, we have jokes. Let me see. One of the Fox body, get the fuck out. What do you prefer, 302 push rod or 2-valve versus 3-valve? A push rod. I prefer anything over the 2-valve or the 3-valve. Can relate, work in customer service. Exactly. Talking to people on the phone, talking to people in person, they want you to be their friend. I love you guys. I think the fans I have are phenomenal, but I cannot have a 2-hour conversation with you. Same reason Lund Racing does not take phone calls. Imagine when we have a sale like after Black Friday and Cyber Monday, right? We got 200 tunes in the queue. We got 300 emails that Tyler and Nardi are smashing away, and some dude wants to call. Hey, what's up, man? I saw the video of your car doing a backflip. You should tie the front end down. Maybe you should launch with less boost. You know what you should do? Because I've never owned a 7-second S550 in my life. You should tighten the shocks in the front a little bit. Yep, that's what you should do. That'll keep it off the ground. Anyway, I bought a engine intake. Shut the fuck up. Less rap, more of your voice. Jesus Christ, Steven. The Chets. Brandon is going to go 8s first. Dakota has to swap the TH400 in first. That is funny. Yeah, Brandon will go 8s. Brandon will go 8s next year right off the rip. Just, got to get out of the hole. He just has to build some boost, get out of the hole, and he's good to go. But Fairmont did it first time out. Bitch! Oh, my God. It's got more in it. Exactly. YouTube corrupt anti-free speech liberal company. You know why I go to you now? Because your fucking name is retarded. I love it. Is it okay to email Lund and ask about my build? Yes. Guys, the reason support at lundracing.com exists is so that you can talk to Tyler, me, Brandon, or Nardi about your build. And if it meets the criteria and we can steer you in the right direction, boom, we say, pay here. Here's a tune, and it sends it off to the tuners, and we fulfill the order. That is the reason support at lundracing.com exists. Email them with questions. That is the reason we're there. Is it worth auto swapping my 14 manual packs in GT before I heard you say just sell and get an auto because of the cost, but the cost has gone down. It has gone down, but man, that is a whole bunch of shit you got to do. And you're going to spend 5G, 6G, 7G to make your current manual car an auto. Are you willing to do that? Or if the car doesn't have that many mods, if it's a cold air bitch, trade that bitch in for a 14 auto and you're done, and you're swapping payments as opposed to out of your pocket $5,000, unless you're in love with your vehicle. Brian Mockleridge giving me money for no reason. How's the F100 doing? Nader Saleh, how much will a Gen 2 Mustang Coyote swap with an MT82 swap into a Fox cost me around how much? Love. Okay, see, basically he has a Gen 2 Mustang motor and he wants to swap it with an MT82 onto a Fox. Okay, I will tell you how much it cost me real world to build my Fairmont. I had the motor. I had the trans. I had to sell a bunch of stuff. It cost me $15,000. $15,000. That's what it takes. 15 to 20. And that's on the cheap side, meaning I got a lot of shit secondhand, used. I bartered $15,000. You can't even say engine or however you spell it without laughing. Exactly. You know how many people messaged us, man, that was a wild ride at World Cup. And of course they all have a Southern accent because that's like my default, phone call. Did y'all ever try bringing the compression up? Oh, fuck me. That car ran 820, 830, 760, 770, 780, boom, 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 like it was its job. And on the same tune the next day, it went whoop, as if we purposely fucked with it, Love your videos just because, oh, fuck, sorry, I missed it. Someone said love your videos and he was giving me a compliment, but guess what? It's gone. Brian Mockleridge says, let me get those Nutty Buddy Reese's whole milk fart boxers. Exactly. Hey, Alex, can I call you? Alex, can you scratch on the mic for me? Okay. Oh, you like that? You like that, you freak fuck? Yeah? Jarrett Stallworth says, Alex, what's the deal with the second gen 3.5 EcoBoost F-150? 12 injectors? I was expecting big power figures, and it's been me. So it's port and direct. Gen 2 went port and direct. You can only make so much power with direct injection. Then you have to upgrade the high pressure fuel pump, bigger injector. It's going to cost you $15,000 fucking dollars. So you have to treat it like an EcoBoost Mustang on Gen 1. So in Gen 2, Ford said PI, port injection and direct injection. Now, it is not going to automatically make a shitload more power. But if you upgrade the injectors, upgrade the fuel pump, and go E85, raise the boost and party. So I think there's a bigger benefit to getting a Gen 2 3.5 than a Gen 1 if you're chasing power because it has port injection stock. PBH out here copying Alex and doing live feeds. Where's PBH at? PBH doing live feeds right now? Get the fuck out of here. Oh, good. It's kind of hard to do live feeds at the same time here. I don't think PBH is doing a live feed. I would have gotten a notification or something. Let me see. Is there a notification about a live feed? No, nothing. Very impressive. Okay, cool. All right, back to it. 2014 Coyote with Edelbrock 2300 and Edelbrock tune, the Police 375. How much will I gain with a custom tune? It all depends how much they're commanding for timing, okay? And fuel quality is going to be your biggest upside. You got to get good fuel quality, good fuel, bigger injector like a MU52, ID1050X, bigger cold air. That's where the custom tuning comes into play because you're going to put custom parts in it. Bigger cold air, different injector. Then we can support that. tune for tune, it's probably going to be a wash in terms of power based on the parts you have. So if I were you, only consider a custom tune if you're going to upgrade the parts that are in the vehicle currently. Brandon B says, before I get into my tuning question, why did my father leave me? How's the support gonna be like now? Dude, I had a guy tell me his wife left him, all this bullshit. I was there for 45 minutes listening to him. And then I had another guy. Oh, guys that are pretty smart. Guys that know some stuff are the most dangerous. Guys that are good at math, guys that have an engineering degree, guys that like data. There are guys, freak fucks out there that love to pore over data. They get that warm and fuzzy feeling when they go, ooh, data. I can't wait to look at data. What the fuck's wrong with you? So those guys go, well, of course, here comes my accent. Well, Alex, I was looking at the math pounds a minute, and then it showed that the math pounds a minute go ahead and be flattened out when it goes to the left. Hey, Alex, I saw that the math pounds a minute peg at 86. So is there a way you can scale the calibration? Oh, shut up. Shut the fuck up. How'd the car run? Well, it ran great, but I was looking at the math pounds a minute. Stop looking at the math pounds a minute and drive the fucking thing. Alex has the casting couch behind him. I do. No one's been on it. Engine hot air intake. Tony Miller. I believe that I dumped 9K into a 460 Beast. Okay, they're talking about other bullshit. Eric the car guy spent 45 grand on his Fairmont. Are you insane? That shit better be a fucking 6-second car. Wild Cup was crazy. World Cup. Anyway, my 305 Camaro did wheelies from an 80 roll. Man, I had that double. I had an 82 with an Edelbrock Performer RPM. That's the good one, the RPM, not the Performer. The Performer RPM, 1.6 rocker, MSD, high whatever the fuck, 6AL with an MSD tack adapter that buzzed all the time. Oh my God, I heard all of it, guys. I heard all of that shit. Kona Blue 18 Gap by You says, I know you support the FIC 1000H injectors, but have you seen any issues tuning them? Not the FIC 1000s. No, I have not had any issues tuning FIC 1000Hs. I have 1650s in my car. They tune just really similar to the ID 1700s, but I've never dealt with FICs 2150s or anything like that. I don't have any, and I haven't put them on my car, and there's no need to put them on my car because that's way more injector than I'll ever need, honestly, unless I'm running like M1 fuel or something. Justin Katie says, fucking engineers are the worst people to work with customers. Exactly, because they know something, but not enough to know what's going on in the tune. See, they see half the story. They see the data log and they go, well, throttle's dropping. Why is it dropping? Well, did you see the torque source? What's torque source? Well, that's traction control. That's why throttle's dropping, because you had advanced track on. What? Right. I'm a data and engines. Oh, Jesus Christ. And it's gone. 40 fucking people replied at the same time. I live in a no inspection state. Where are some ways I can get away with not having the engine light come on with free flow and exhaust? Alexander Cadell, that is one of those questions that should never be asked publicly. It's one of those things where, you just don't ask that shit publicly. You just don't talk about Fight Club. You just don't talk about Fight Club, right? There is no Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club. Eric Batchelor says, I like data. I guess, yeah, I like data too when it's my job. But when I'm like at home, I like burgers. I like women. I like going fast. Not data. Don't ask about the science behind the tunes. It's magic. Exactly, Alex Garcias. We don't talk about Fight Club. Bossman, if you have an IG message, please. If you have an IG message me. No. Gen 2 Coyote, I love you. I'm not doing that. Do you know how many people hit me up on Instagram? And they usually try to do that to get away from the ticket system so that they can message me directly, aka call me. I love you guys. This is the reason this live stream is around, so that you can ask me directions and ask me questions directly. I apologize if I can't get to every single person's questions, but I do this every week. So guys, this is the best way to ask any questions right here. You don't have to pay, But as you've seen, if you pay, I can see the message easier. I am not encouraging you to pay. If you pay, that is on your own. But guess what? I get to the paid questions because they pay. Benito Meowski says, 2017 Roush, we get in your advice. We was getting your advice installed. Return style E85 1050X 75mm. But Tuner mentioned inconsistency of E85 on the pumps. We said to BAP instead. He wants me to stay pump 91, but may need race fuel for 700 horsepower. Thoughts? Benito, if in your area you have a huge variable in ethanol, meaning one day it tests E55, the next day it runs E80, the day after that it's E70, he's right. Stick to pump gas. Unless you can ensure a consistent mix all the time, which you probably cannot. So I understand what he's saying. Trust me. Okay, just making sure the questions are good. Sorry to give you, I didn't want to give you guys dead air. How big of a shot can a Gen 2 Roadrunner take? Dude, I wouldn't go past 150 regardless. The knock sensors hate nitrous kits. Unless you're willing to turn the knock sensors off, do not consider anything above a 150 shot. Alexander Cadell gave tacos and burritos and says, I live in a no inspection state. Dude, I already answered your question. We don't talk about Fight Club. Daily Driven says, so is the engine intake good or bad? It's a stock cold air. They now sell one with the Venturi thing look removed. So now there's another fucking cold air intake we have to support. Fuck me, right? Ladies and gents, your new YOLO character. Yeah, Toby, we should call, who's the character that calls and tells you about his whole life instead of asking a question? Like I went to Napa and I think the guy looked at me like I was in heaven. I said, hey dude, I have a 8-rib belt and it needs to be 1.25 inches shorter. He didn't ask any questions. He said, what application? I said, custom. He went and got it for me. Here you go. And I was out. I gave him money. I was out. He's like, thank God. And then I heard a guy go in there after me and goes, yeah, I need some brakes. Oh, what for? 1990 something town and country minivan with AC. And the guy must have been like tying the noose, like, fuck me. I got to deal with this guy. When this guy comes in, tells me I want this belt short, and I just give it to him. I get warm and fuzzy when my wife shows me her tits. Wow, sweet. 97 Outlaw. Good for you. I've never dated a woman that had a great rack. Actually, I'm sorry. One girl, and I will name her name, her first name, Tammy. I was in the middle, a long time ago, way back when in Massachusetts. I was in a 10-year relationship and a 5-year relationship. In between those relationships, it was pretty badass, which I'm now single again, and it is pretty badass. But I'm single now because I want to concentrate on, I got so much shit going on at work. That's what I want to do. I want to race cars, work. I want to do that shit. So, homegirl, this girl named Tammy. She was from Boston. So I went from Springfield, Massachusetts, all the way to Boston like a fucking psycho. You know how crazy guys do for puss? I went all the way to Boston. It's like an hour and a half. So I didn't know she had a massive rack. I thought she was just like, well proportioned all the way around. Dude, ridiculous. I was like, it was impressive. Now, she had no butt, flat butt, but I didn't care. To this day, I've never been with someone that's like that. Like, so, wow. But I'm a butt guy. When I see a girl with a nice butt, I couldn't care less about the boobs. But remembering those boobs make me go, imagine having both. That's when you get the ring. Here's the ring. Look, first date, you got both. Here's the ring. Fuck it. I don't care if you're a pain in the ass. I don't care if you cheat on me. I want to be seen with you. Here's a ring. Do you think, B Watts 83 says, do you think adding comp cams to my 18 NA with CJ manifold will make a decent gain in power? I'm shooting for a solid and consistent 500 real horsepower. Steeda has cams on theirs and it seems to make a good load of power, but look, you're going to be one of the first, so you're going to have to deal with growing pains. But we have data on them. As long as they're cut right and the data is consistent, you'll make more power. But cams are so fucking expensive and so labor intensive. Why don't you just put a fucking blower on it? Why do people love to be this NA warrior? NA, and I don't care about NA only. I think NA only is a waste of time if your goal is just to go fast. If you want to go fast NA, no one cares. I mean, there's a very small, tight-knit group that loves the naturally aspirated game. I understand that. I want to go 10s in this car, NA, just to say I could. But I'm not looking to go really fast NA because it is more expensive and more labor intensive, and your car becomes a tin can to run a number. It's not my thing. Benito Kalowski, whatever the fuck his name is, says, thanks, Alex. Your opinion helps a lot. Yeah, man, trust me. If your tuner is out there telling you that the ethanol mix in your area is inconsistent, it's probably not a good idea to run ethanol, run 91, booster pump, some octane booster, and be happy for a while. YouTube corrupt anti-free speech liberal company says, do you eat ass? Great question. So, if you're out there eating the toting, right? If you're out there eating the toting and you don't happen to swipe that area, something's wrong with you, right? But to purposely go in there, like right off the bat, no. You can't just go in there. It is supplemental. It's like it's like having rice and bringing a little bean in the rice as you eat. You don't just go right after the bean. You go for the rice and then you add beans to the rice. That's the best way I could put it. Our Fox is still worth it to this day. And what is the best power for the money? Mods, turbo versus nitrous versus head cam and intake and that stuff. For the money, nitrous. Plain and simple. Mike J, want to go fast NA and get push rod motor way cheaper. Okay. Don't forget to bring a towel. Towley is here. Look at you, Towley. How are you doing? Imagine being constantly dry. Bossman12 Boss says, Alex, talk about the Odin Supercharger and what thoughts were. Already did. Cams are only worth it if you're already breaking the engine down. I'm doing heads cams in a 350, and because I run the road course, I don't want to deal with the blower heat. I get it, but keep boost low, right? Why don't you keep boost really low, like at 6 pounds, 5 pounds? Mike Vasquez says, Alex, just wondering if you would tune the 2150H because I'm looking at the 20. Look, it's already been answered 15 times. I don't have any good data on the 2150Hs. All you need is 1650s. Jesus Christ, all you need is 1650s. You do not need more than that unless you're making 2,000 horsepower. Fuck, relax. Is the 1980 MT82 stronger than the 18? I think they revised the shift forks, but I don't think it's that much stronger per se. I'm going to probably take mine down and just open it up. I'm working with a couple of guys of making some badass version of the shift fork so that they never break. That'll be coming up pretty soon. Hopefully within a couple of months. Hey, Alex, if someone is looking to get into tuning, what advice would you give? Befriend a tuner. No, not me. Befriend a tuner, find someone that tunes, even standalones. Just be around that person, be around it so you can see what he goes through. If you were next to me as I tune cars remotely, you probably would not want to get into tuning, right? It's a job. It's a job. There's nothing glamorous around it. There's nothing sexy about it. It is a job. You sit down, shut the fuck up, and fill orders. Boom, 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 boom. You don't sit there and go, oh, you fucking music in the back, and you're smashing on the keyboard. No, it's not that world. You're like, this guy's an asshole. Shut up. You have an air leak. That's it. It's a job. So don't think it's sexy and easy. It is a job, and treat it like a job. Do you lick front to back or back to front? It depends on where they're at. You know what I mean? Jared Stallworth says, ever tune an Explorer ST? I want one. No, but I think Senior is looking at them, honestly. Why does Otterbox Supercharger make so much more torque than other superchargers? The TVS and the front inlet. TVS front inlet. The Odin Supercharger is probably going to make similar torque to the Edelbrock. And if you port the Edelbrock, it'll be literally the same thing as the new VMP Supercharger. Yes, I've been wanting to hear something about the 18 and 19 MT82 upgrade while retaining the rev match on 2019. Yeah, I'm probably gonna take my trans out and open it up and see what the forks look like and see if they're different than 18. Order a set and then see what I can do to make them beefier. Because I got to get on that shit. Got to get on that shit. People are ignoring that. You can't ignore that shit. Alex, thought on the second gear leave with a turbo 1300 horsepower application, stock 315 gear. I would upgrade to 331 and be well into fourth gear with a second gear leave, honestly. Where does Alex get his coke from? Hook a brother up. I'm naturally on the hyper side. I mean, I'm actually really laid back. But when it comes to like making fun and fucking around and moving, I'm very animated. But like in real life, I'm kind of laid back. How much will a Gen 2 Mustang Coyote swap MT82? I already answered that question way back when. What are the power limits of the stock axles on the 14 GT? About 700 wheel. That's where I broke my shit. Actually, it could be even stock if you got wheel hop. It all depends if you're hooking or not. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Oh, look at this chat real quick. There's a guy's talking on the chat over here. I want to make sure everyone's okay. Good. Making sure everyone's happy. Hey, Forbidden Concepts, can you stop fucking putting Ramble on Ron on the fucking chat? It's annoying as shit. Turbo Gen 2 Coyote swap New Edge. Should I attempt to tune the car myself with HP tuners or get a company? Get a company to tune it for you. Do not attempt to start from scratch on a setup like that if you've never messed with the Coyote before. Trust me, you're going to save yourself a lot of trouble, and make sure you get an SCT tuner or someone who supports your software to tune it. Alex, can you give me the 10,000 patch if I do the Frankenstein build 321? Sure, fuck it. If it's a Gen 1, sure. I think Junior, here you go, here's 10,000. Blow your shit up. Hey, Alex, I heard the reason Ford put the Mach-E under the Mustang name is because Mustang will become its own brand like Lincoln. That would be cool. Could you imagine if it's an offshoot and you're getting Mustang trucks, Mustang fucking 3-cylinder fucking smart cars? I mean, that would be kind of funny if they did that. So that means Mustang could potentially have a wagon, a GT, like a coupe, and a truck or an SUV. I don't know. It's all good. Cigar Fix. Shout out to Flanagan's Wings and Rib Rolls. Bicho, he's right. And their chicken stickers are legit as fuck. All right. Boston Girls. Hada. Yeah, she did sound like that. She did have a very thick accent. And there's different accents if you're south of Boston and north of Boston. So North Shore, South Shore. It's weird. Are you planning on adding E85 to your current setup on the 19? No. If so, what power are you expecting? No. And Alex, don't skip this question. Don't skip this. Alex, fuck it. Fix it. No, I'm not planning on it. I'll probably put race gas in it because I want to keep the BAPR, the bitch ass injector, and I want to keep it as streetable as possible. I really, really don't want to fuck with that car. I have a car. I have a fast car already, so it's all good. Oh, YouTube free speech has the longest fucking name on the planet. YouTube free speech. Alex, you told us you couldn't tell dating stories because you were in a relationship. Now that you're single, can we get some juicy dating stories? You can. Let me get the paid questions out of the way, and we're going to party. Mike Acosta says, are you going to do anything with the Maverick? Get it in the 8s? Maverick? No. I'm not going to get the Mavericks in the 8. No. I mean, the Maverick's probably going to get some weird engine. Not a Coyote, but it's going to be Ford. Maybe a 3.5 EcoBoost from a Raptor, if I can find one halfway decent, or a Gen 1 and do some funky shit to it. But yeah, I'll do something to it because I've seen some lowered Maverick on 17-inch deep dish wheels, and they look sick. So I might fuck around with it. All right, real quick. Dating stories. I'm going to talk a little bit about dating stories. I'm going to tell you about a date that I went on. So I'm in a weird position, right? Okay, I'm going to stop talking car shit. So if you guys are still paying me on car shit, I'm going to do my best to answer them, but I'm going to be on dating shit for a little while here. So I'm lucky that I can attract someone in their 20s all the way up to like their 50s because I'm in the middle. But the problem is going out with girls in their 20s is you're literally not compatible. You have different experiences and everything, but they look good. So it's hard to ignore. So I went out with this girl, and younger girl, 26 years old, super tiny little thing. And I was just like, shit, I felt like, damn, this is a good setup. But obviously she was younger. So there was things that, you kind of have to ignore, like some of the shit they would say. But we wanted to go on a date. Now, Imagine your first date is doing something you've never done, like kayaking. I've never done kayaking. I'm Puerto Rican. Puerto Ricans don't kayak. Puerto Ricans don't paddle board. We don't do any of that bullshit. We jet ski. So we ended up, she made a date. She goes, okay, let's go kayaking. My uncle has 2 kayaks. So I'm like, how hard could it be? So I saw these kayaks and they actually look pretty baller. They're on the wide side, they're like yellow and orange and they're deep and you can just kind of paddle around these beautiful, serene areas. So it's not going to be an issue. Nope. Hey, John Lund, you just tuned in for a dating story. So this girl says, no, we're going to go kayaking up in Orlando. So I said, okay. So I let her make the plans. Now I'm a control freak when it comes to shit like that. If I'm going to take you on a date, I want to make sure that you're safe. You're not going to die. And the equipment is proper. So I had the truck for a little while when my 18 was down and I went all the way up to the Orlando area, pick up the kayaks from her uncle's house. And she's like, this is the kayak I'll be using. It's a nice little white one. It was wide. It was legit. The one I had looked like it was made in 1975. I'm going to try to look it up here. Kayak. It looked legit like the ugliest piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. Skinny as hell. I'm like, I'm dead. I'm going to die. Let me find it. I'm scrolling here. Oh, yeah. This is what it looked like. Check this shit out. It looked like that. It was like it was some piece of shit like this, and I'm like, oh hell no. I thought it was gonna be something nice like that, right? No, man, she put me in this fucking 1975 jalopy fucking thing. It was horrendous, but I thought, I'm a man. It was literally that thing. So I said, all right, let me just shut my mouth and let's do it. So where do we go, right? We go somewhere I thought was going to be serene, quiet, and just kind of chill out. No, we ended up going to the freaking intercoastal. If you know what that is in Florida, it's a massive body of water that is before the ocean and right off of the mainland. So here in South Florida, the intercoastal is very narrow, but there's still big, massive boats that go through it. Sure enough, we go on a boat launch. I'm like, wait a minute, we're going to kayak here? She goes, yeah, we're going to kayak here. And I'm like, there's boats flying at 50 mile an hour making huge. She goes, you'll be fine. She'll be fine. She had the big, wide fucking kayak. So she goes out there and she looks all fine. The moment I sit on this kayak, I'm like this. I'm like, I can't get my balance. So I felt stupid. I felt so stupid. Steven Brazel says, kayak equals drowning with your legs stuck. Exactly how I felt. So I'm like, let me be a man, shut my mouth, because I got the long, skinny kayak made in 1975. So I go out there, and after about 5 minutes, I got it. I got that shit down. Boom, boom, boom. I'm paddling. Everything's good. And, the water's a little choppy, so I'm like, shit, this thing can capsize easy. So I'm thinking, how do I like, come back from it? Like, if I flip in the middle of the intercoastal, see, I thought we were going to be near, like, shallow water and just look at cute little plants and shit. Nope. Out in the deep end of shit where the water's like 300 feet, like the Laurentian abyss. So I go out there, and sure enough, what happens? What happens to a guy that's never been kayaking before? Boat comes by, causes a huge wake. I flip this shit. So I'm like, God damn it. I had all my shit in my pocket like an idiot. My phone, my keys. I had sneakers on. Totally unprepared for this shit. So I'm like, fuck. So this is deep ass water. I mean, deep ass water. So she comes over, and I'm like, the thing is capsized. I'm hanging onto the side, and she goes, are you okay? She looked annoyed. Like it's my fucking fault. I flipped this shit when this freaking yacht came by at 100 mile an hour. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So she was like, can you flip it? I'm like, yeah, I can flip it. So I flipped it. Do you know how hard it is to flip a kayak while you're in the water? I somehow made it happen. It was sinking. This motherfucker was sinking. It was half in the water. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's full of water. What's happening? So now I had to tow this kayak. I had to grab a kayak, and I'm not that great of a swimmer. I'm not a bad swimmer. So I'm doing this, and then and then this arm got tired, flip around, grab this. I'm doing this. I am 300 feet away from the shore. Like nowhere close. I'm like, I'm going to be here for 3 hours. So I said, hey, do me a favor, lady. Go out there, the closest spot, and, use your paddle and see where you can actually see, where I can stand up. So she goes, right here. She went off of like 200 feet. She's like, right here. It's really shallow. Dude, legit a half hour. Where a couple of times I'm like, oh, like I would go underwater and just like, why don't I just let go? Why don't I just let go at this point? I should just let go and die. So I somehow made it close to where she was at. Guess what happened? Okay, so because I couldn't really get any force with my fucking sneakers, I took them off and I threw them inside the little cubby hole that the kayak has. So I'm barefoot. And okay, good. I'm getting some good, motion going. I'm getting closer. Guess what happens the moment I step on the part she said to step on? Rocks with barnacles. Rocks with barnacles that are like razor blades and immediately cut my feet because I put all of my weight on it and I stepped and I went boom, boom, boom. And I went, holy shit. The moment I put my feet up, an insane amount of blood was coming out of my feet. I'm like, oh my God. She goes, what happened? She looked annoyed again. I'm like, my feet are cut because there's barnacles on these rocks. And she goes, oh, what do you need me to do? I wanted to punch her in the face. So I kept swimming. And guess what? When I kept swimming, I kept rubbing up against barnacles and it cut my feet, my legs, everything. So I went back, made it on land after stepping on a bunch of rocks. Dude, it looked like someone got murdered when I made it to land. And I was under like this bridge. There was blood everywhere. My feet were gushing blood and I was so tired. It literally was swimming for a half hour, 200 something feet, towing this fucking kayak. I get the kayak on land, flip it. I notice it has a crack on the bottom. I'm like, holy shit. She goes, oh, maybe my uncle didn't fix that crack. I'm like, wait, you knew about the crack? Oh, well, I didn't know. I didn't think it was still cracked. And I'm like, holy shit. I said, do me a favor. Take off towards the boat launch. I'll catch up with you. She took off. And then, because the faster you go with a kayak, the more stable you are. So I hauled ass. I actually passed her. I think I made a wake. I passed her. I was so pissed off and tired. Got to the boat launch. Threw the kayak. It was a long kayak. I threw that motherfucker in there. I grabbed her shit, threw it on. Didn't even tie it down. I said, fuck this. I drove that shit to her uncle's. I dropped it off in the front, in the grass. Last time I saw her. Last time I saw that fucking girl. I will never go kayaking again. Fuck kayaking. You want to go on a date? Let's go grab dinner. Maybe look at the water and then we'll smash at my place. I am not going on any kayak ride. So that was a quick dating story for you guys. So let's get back to the bullshit. Angie Nichols, what a fucking disaster. Exactly. Like the worst. Look, I'm easy when it comes to dates. Let's go look at the water. Let's go look at a movie. Let's eat. People want to like skydive and shit. Let's go on an adventure. How about no? How about we don't do that shit? Dude, the kayak was leaking. When I flipped it, the whole hull, the whole bottom was full of fucking water. It took me forever to drain that bitch and then get back on the water and not die. Oh, it was awful. It was awful. Yeah, he's like, better get some ass after all of that. Nope, no ass. Huncho James says, I'd love a Ben Calamer stage 3 with YDBT design shift forks. I'll wait till you tell us more about that project before I make any transmission purchases. Yeah, he's supposed to be working on a set too, but I'm going to work on it with like PBH and stuff just to do my own shit. And if there's a part to be offered, why not? Texas streets for dates. I never dated anybody in Texas. When I lived in Texas, I was with someone. I was with my ex. Texas has some really good looking Mexican girls, like legit. And they'd probably be like a down ass girl, like, have your back and shit. Never had the chance to date there. Can you port a kayak? Man, she sounds like a bitch. No love. Yeah, you know what? That was my own fault. Because I picked the wrong girl. I'm like, this ain't working. How could you put me in that fucked of a situation? Like, give me your kayak. Why don't you take the cracked kayak? See what happens when you flip your shit. I just picture you sinking like Leo in the Titanic when he dies. Dude, exactly. A couple of times, you ever float in salt water with it like this, your body goes underneath. Your body goes like you cannot like stand up straight, especially on a sinking kayak. So you're constantly doing this. So when I would rest like this, and I would just let go and go, oh, I should just let go and die. Fuck this. Legit Mexican girls. I've never dated a Mexican. Actually, the girl I just recently dated for a little bit was half Mexican. Great girl. Awesome. YouTube corrupt anti-free speech says, whenever I go on a legit date, it ends up me wasting money, not getting laid. Best to just invite them over to your apartment for a movie, smash for free. So a lot of women don't like that. They're like, oh, nowadays dating is just come over to my place and have sex. I'm like, right, because you want to be, no offense, taken out. That we're going to pay for that. Maybe a movie, maybe this, maybe that. That's $100 and depending on where you're at, 120, 130, 140, 150 bucks for the night. And then you do it again 2 weekends later. So by the time you get some ass, you're into it for about 300 to 500 bucks, right? 300 to 500 bucks. So I get it. Why if a guy's like, no, I ain't gonna do it. And that's the funny thing. Guys that are like that, they're brazen. They're like, nah, you're gonna come over, we're gonna smash. I'm like, and then they get their way. And then women are like, that guy's an asshole. Yeah, but he smashed. He got you. That's all he wanted. So if you were like righteous, you'd be like, nah, I ain't doing that. Treat me right. But you went over there and smashed. So who's the sucker? More dating stories, Beach. I'll get you dating stories, once every episode. Now, I will start a dating channel. And I'm going to try to animate some of the stories. I was talking to Jake at Power by the Hour today because I always tell him about the dating stories. And he laughs his ass off at some of the stories because they're real. I think his favorite story was about a girl that I dated that was a big girl, not fat. She was there was a lot of her. And I stopped dating her because I thought I was going to go broke feeding her. She ate so much. It was insane. 326 3-valve from Brenspeed put down 890 rear horsepower, 750 torque, done cheaper than a 5.0 swap. Why do you think? It's a 3-valve. Cheaper than a 5.0 swap? So a Gen 2 motor, Gen 2 control pack, E85, and boost. The 326 3-valve that was boosted was cheaper? No. Highly doubtful. Plus, you have to drive the race car and waste gas. Exactly. Still fuck, though. Steven Brazell said, still fuck, though. Y'all fucking mental spending $200 on a first date. Not on a first date. You got to understand. Total. Parking, getting your ass down there, feeding them, buying ice cream afterwards, maybe a coffee. And if the date goes real well, they invite you over, but you probably still won't smash. But if she's worth a damn, you hold out and you see what the deal is. But in my single days, which I'm single now, it was easy. Take her to Yard House. Yard House probably thinks I probably have frequent flyer miles at Yard House. Like, hello, Alex, would you like your booth? Would you like your regular booth? Who's this one? It's been to that point where I'm like, hey, let's go to Yard House. Why? They're open late. Food's halfway decent. And it's kind of a bar atmosphere, but it's open. So if I take you to Yard House, probably looking to smash. Someone's like, fuck that Netflix and chill. It's all about Hulu and do you. Very good. I'm doing a 5.0 swap on my 3-valve. Fuck a 3-valve. Exactly. 3 valves, dude. Unless you lock the cams and then you got to lock the cam and then you got to tune that. And then, dude, I'm not a fan of 3 valves at all. It's just that the whole world should forget the 3-valve ever happened. Your lucky sharks didn't get you with all that blood. I don't think there was any sharks in the intercoastal, but there was a shitload of blood coming out of my feet. It was like, and I didn't recover for a while. Jeremiah Camp, yard for the win. Yeah, Jeremiah Camp. If you see me at Yard House, send me those desserts. I'm telling you, that worked. That was awesome. They was like, who sent you desserts, Alex? I'm like, I don't know, maybe one of my fans. Yep. I got some top that night, but that's it though. I didn't get full smash, just some top. NG Nickel says, Yard House VIP member. Yeah, like, hello, Mr. Alejandro. Your booth is ready. It's always ready. That's what they should build me a wing at Yard House because I went there so often. Hey, Alex, do you know if the PBH S197 Coyote Swap harness will work on a V6 S197? I think it'll work on the V6 S197 if I'm not mistaken. Being single really sucks. All I do is whatever the fuck I want all the time. You know what? I hate to say it. The reason, look, work is really busy. My career is very important to me. So I just didn't have time to commit to anyone at that time. It was just wasn't right. And they were kind of far away. So that made everything more difficult. And my time, I was being pulled in 15 different directions. So I had to make a judgment call. I had to say, it's better for me to be single at this point in my life because I'm not going to pay the proper attention to you. And I don't want you to feel like you're ignored and this and this and that. And if it's easy, it's different, but it wasn't easy. It was a little work, and my career started, the car started coming around, the racing started coming around, and we got busy, and I was like, I just can't do this. So I think I'm better off being single right now. And it's honestly fun to be single because I can do whatever the fuck I want whenever I want, not report to anyone, just do my thing. Disney and dick. Is that a thing? Disney Plus and dick? I'm not going Disney Plus and dick. Lucky you didn't pass out and drown from bleeding. Hey, Alex. I bled a lot, dude. Hey, Alex, I got a Gen 1 with a VMP boosted pump, fuel pump fuse melted. What's up? You have a bad ground somewhere, potentially? It's not grounded properly, potentially? G-Unit Silk City says, Alex is the type of guy who let his date give him a Blumpkin because the $28.99 two can dine at yard is justified. Is it true the 2-valve, 3-valve, and 4-valve were all developed at the same time and Ford slowly rolled them out? Maybe. I don't know. Das Poop says 2-valve is greater than a 3-valve. G-Unit Silk City says, Paul, that Jersey shit. Oh my God. 03 Ford G6 Evo. Oh my God, what a stupid name. Smart man. He said, smart man, relationships are never easy. Wasn't meant to be. Yeah, exactly. That one was just bad timing. Great girl. Phenomenal person. Just not the right time, man. I got too much shit going on. Alex is MG tow right now. I don't know what that means. Are you able to run full 85 with an EcoBoost just picked up at 15 SHO? No. If it's direct injection only, no freaking way. Those direct injectors will not keep up. ESPN Plus and espionage. Chicken and dickling. Chicken and dicking? What the hell is that all about? Yeah, no, it's one of those things like I'm going to start a dating channel, and it'll be a separate channel from this because a lot of you guys just want to keep this car centric, and I understand that, and it makes sense. I will start it, I'll promote it properly, but only when I've populated it with 4 or 5 videos just to get people over there, and I'll let you know when it hits. But I'm going to try to animate some of the stories because me just sitting in front of you talking about dating, maybe you can visualize it. Maybe if you're driving in your truck or car, you can visualize it. But those videos are only going to be about 8 to 10 minutes long, not an hour and a half live stream like this where you can just plop it in the, actually these are also going to be uploaded to a podcast. So I'll link to that, but it'll be just quick little stories about dating that I think are pretty funny. And I have at least 5 or 6 in mind that I think will do really well. Dated any insanely smart girl? Insanely smart. You know what? Probably not. Insanely smart. Probably not, because I probably stay with her because I'm fascinated by intelligence. I've never dated anyone that I considered, this sounds bad, but I've never dated anyone that I considered smarter than me. Maybe a harder worker, maybe better at certain things than I am, but I just, there were certain things that were missing. Now, if I dated a girl that like made me feel this big because of her superior intelligence, I'd probably be fascinated by that and go, yeah, let me stick around for this, see how long this goes. Stick around for this. Ryan Dillon says, what's the easiest way to go 890? Currently have a Gen 2 short block and an S197. Should I part the Paxton or just pulley to death? 8's Texas 2K is my goal. You're going to have to pulley to death, brother. You're going to have to pulley that sucker to death and hope it weighs 3,400 pounds with you in it. So get the weight off of that car and the boost way up. Listen to this. I have had the iconic tick in my 5.0. I shit you not. My starter went out and I replaced it and the tick is gone. Makes no damn sense, but it is true. Interesting. Big Daddy Trucker says, ever date a girl that had a faster car than you? No. Smart girls make my dick soft, to be honest. Feminism kills boners. No. Intelligence and feminism are not mutually... Wait, this, I don't want to sound really stupid. but it's not the same. I was going to say they're not mutually exclusive, but I think intelligent girls don't necessarily have to be feminists. Feminists, in my opinion, are not that intelligent because they're looking to basically, they're victims, right? They're victims. Oh my God, all the time. Men can't get anywhere. I'm sorry, women can't get anywhere. Men can get, climbing the corporate ladder, this and this and that. If you look at the metrics, men work more, right? I know I'm about to get a lot of hate, but men literally work a lot more than women. Right? I stopped dating someone because I wanted to work more. Plain and simple. So feminism is just an excuse for, in my opinion, laziness. Because I know some women that hustle and get it done, and they're way more successful than I am. Hello, fans. Welcome to Alex's neighborhood. Men going their own way. MGTOW. Men going their own way. I'm telling you. If you're a halfway decent looking guy, I'm not ugly, but I'm not hot. I'm in the middle somewhere. I'm like a solid 6. But I have a decent personality. So you can get laid. So if you can find that anywhere, you can find a girl. Look, obviously I would prefer to be in a relationship, but it has to be, convenient, right, everything. If not, I'm okay being single because you can get laid anywhere. If you're a halfway decent looking dude, got your own place and can talk to people, it's not that hard. Whether you can get the girl you want to sleep with you, that's a whole different story, but you can get laid. So women can't hold that over your head anymore if you got your own shit going on, your own apartment, your own house, your own car, your own shit. You don't need them for anything. Das Poop says, NA Gen 3, any power difference between pump 60, E60 and 55 and E85 out of the barrel? Renegade Sunoco, also favorite beer. E85 is going to make a little more power than E60 and E55. Even if you do that on a flex tune, do that test on a flex tune. E60 will get you about 27, 28 degrees. E85 will get you 31, all this shit. So you're going to make more power on more ethanol, period. I don't drink beer, never have. So I do not have a favorite beer. Exactly, Justin Miller. Nastang 87 says, exactly, Justin Miller. Feminism is a joke, well, third-party wave anyway. Feminists are willing to kill unborn potential feminists. Men fuck who they can. Women fuck who they want. Heard that before. It pissed me off. Men fuck who they can. Women fuck who they want. That is incorrect. Incorrect. I've literally, this is going to sound retarded, but there's a girl that I know that pursues me pretty hardcore, but I don't want anything about it. You know why? Because it comes with so much drama, so much bullshit. She's attractive. Guys, she is. I don't want any part of it. Any part of it. Because it comes with so much fucking drama, baggage, that I can just see that shit being a problem down the road. Brian Morales says, preferable race on a girl that attracts you. This is my go-to. Irish women, redhead, green eyes, pale skin. That's my go-to. That's absolutely my go-to. My first girlfriend long-term was a Spanish girl, Puerto Rican girl, light skin, black hair. My second one was a redhead, tall, pale, greenish eyes, hazel eyes. That is my absolute go-to. Try finding that shit in South Florida. No freaking, it's Cubans, Colombians, Mexican, Guatemalan, everything. YouTube, that's why men earn more. They work longer hours. They work dangerous jobs. They're willing to travel for work. And most women by 30 decide to pursue a family because their biological clock. Ding, ding, ding. YouTube corrupt, anti-free speech liberal. That's why my last relationship ended. Wanted a baby. I think, more than she wanted to be in a relationship with me. And I'm like, I'm not going to be second to no kid. This sounds fucked up, right? But I'm free to do whatever the fuck I want. The moment you have a kid, your life becomes about the child. And anything you want to do takes a back seat. I'm not saying you can't do what you want to do in terms of racing, pursuing any passions, but you have $2,000 in your hand. You're not going to take that 2,000 and buy a blower with it when you have a kid sitting there. That would be irresponsible. So the last relationship, and she probably is going to hear this and hate my guts, but I'm going to be honest. I think she wanted a kid more than she wanted to be with me. And I said, yeah, no, that's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So once I kind of saw that going that way, shit happened and had to bounce. We had to part ways based on, I think, primarily that. That was the primary thing. Why? Because that person got pregnant very quick. Like right after we broke up, she was pregnant and had a kid, and that was that. So it kind of validated my suspicions that they just wanted a kid and that biological clock was fucking with their head. And now I hope they're happy. But man, fuck all that. You gotta think clearly when it comes to that. Because I could have just said, okay, let me dump one in you and keep you around and shut the fuck up. No, fuck that. No. I am not going to be second to anything. I'm not going to be number 2 to anything. Yeah, call me a selfish prick. I am never going to be number 2. This turned into an incel rally real quick. Alex, what are the problems with the Flex Tune boosted? So, okay, how much timing do you command? How much timing do you command at 55% ethanol versus 65 versus 85 versus 10 versus 20? I mean, what's probably going to happen is you can't command low enough timing based on the ethanol percentage. I just don't think that's how it works. The tables are set up a certain way, and I don't think you can cap them at a certain level, because what if the car sees 20 degrees on 30% ethanol? That's not good if it's a lot of boost. And you probably will turn up the boost like a fuck and go, more boost, E50, what happened? OG Evo said, damn it, boy, you got a good head on your shoulders. Look, you got to understand. Alex doesn't do any substances. My Coke joke was that a joke. How did 2 dudes make a kid? There we go. Alex, with the red Mustang, did you have any? Do you have to choose only get one? What will it be? 355 gears or Circle D converter or cams? Converter. Alex, you're always number 1. Yeah. Okay. So adoption. Do you miss a bullet? You missed a bullet. Okay. That's the other thing. You know what? Fuck it. Let's make it a confessional. I don't mind talking about my life because I think it's important to talk about my experiences because it might help somebody later on down the road. The full thought process about not having a child with my ex was the family. The family. Am I going to bring a kid into this world when I don't get along with a chunk of the family? No, because then the way I am, I can't be fake. I can't go, hey, grandma, how you doing? Everything's fine when I hate your guts. So bringing a child into that, it's not right. Now, there were irreconcilable differences between me and that member of the family. So I said I would never consider that. That on top of the fact that I didn't want to be tied to anyone forever. I don't want to be tied to, look, when you have a child with a person, you are tied to that person forever. You are tied to that other dude or girl forever. Not when the kid is 18, it's over. Forever. Their family, your family, if it's a bad breakup, if their family are full of assholes, you have to deal with them. And it is a huge, I have dated women that have had 2 baby daddies, and it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare to have to deal with that. And that's what was going on in my head. I go, well, I don't get along with this person. I don't get along with that person. I'm going to bring a kid into all this shit? Fuck no. Fuck no. You gotta do what's right. And you gotta think for yourself first, in my opinion. The moment I start thinking about anyone else first than me, that's when I marry them. But until then, I'm telling you, dude, it was just not a good situation to be into. RGGT is saying, hey, what's up, Alex from Houston? Hey, what's up? Condoms are for, Jesus, I can't say that word. Condom sex is trash. Well, you have AIDS. Believe it or not, you can live forever with AIDS now. So that might not be such a bad Great choice. People don't think that they are committing to the woman's family as well. Exactly. When you have a child, you're committing to the woman's family. And that's what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to raise up a little YOLO. What's up, little YOLO? You fucking punk. You know, that's what I would do. I'd punch him right away just so he knows that life ain't that easy. But, you know, you're going to act weird around the family because you don't get along with them. Dude, trust me. It's just not a good look. You got to do the right fucking thing. And a lot of you guys are probably out there going, I love my kid. And I understand you love your kid and I get it. But trust me, if you had to do it all over again, and very rarely do people answer this question honestly, if you had to do it all over again, would you do it? I know you love your kid. You see your kid, he's cute as fuck, as he has a bunch of shit up his back from shit in his diapers. But if you had to do it all over again, would you? Some people say yes, great for you. I just, all that shit was in my head and I'm like, too much shit happened for me to pop a kid out with this woman. No way. My back hurt says, my daughter graduates college this year. Best thing that ever happened to me was those kids, my man. Good for you. Good for you. You know what's the best thing that happened to me? Bam. Bam. This motherfucker right here. Best thing that ever happened to me. Made a bunch of friendships. Great people. Worked with a bunch of great companies. Bam. That's the best. Look at the wheelie. Look at that shit. Bam. Look at Manuel Gomez down there recording going, God damn. That's what motivates me. That's what gets me up. That's all I care about, honestly, right now. And yeah, it sounds selfish and it sounds stupid, but it's the truth and I'm being honest about it. Okay, let's end it right there on a high note, talking a little shit. Hopefully you guys will get some dating channel stuff, and I'll let you know about the dating channel stuff on another live stream or another video. I'm going to put the red car up on the dyno tomorrow, and I'm going to put a GT350 cold air intake on it, and I'm going to see how it does compared to the 18 cold air intake. It'll be hood shut, so look out for that video Wednesday night or Thursday night. Hopefully you guys will get that out there, and we'll keep on rolling with the videos because I'm single now and I got time to fuck around. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later.